If you're over 60 and sleeping in the same position you've always used without giving it a second thought, tonight might be the night you want to reconsider. Because what if the way your body rests is the very thing making your brain foggier, your heart heavier, and your mornings more painful? What if the one habit you've never questioned is the one silently holding back your health? See, most people believe sleep is when the body heals. But the truth is, how you sleep determines whether it heals. And the science is catching up to what elders in many cultures have whispered for generations. Certain sleep positions, especially after 60, may reduce oxygen to the brain, stress the spine, and even accelerate the kind of damage we're all trying to avoid. Mental decline, joint pain, poor circulation. But the good news? It only takes one small shift, literally a few inches in how you position your body, to help your brain detox more effectively, your heart work more efficiently, and your spine recover more fully. So instead of letting gravity work against you every night, what if you could let it help you live better, longer? Let's start there. Welcome back to Golden Wellness 365, where we shine a light on the little habits that quietly shape how we age, how we heal, and how we feel. If this is your first time here, we're so glad you found us, because today's topic is one that almost no one talks about, yet it touches every single person watching, every single night. We're talking about how your sleeping position, yes, just the way your body lies in bed, might be doing more harm than good after the age of 60. Now, that might sound surprising. Most folks think, well, if I'm asleep, my body must be resting, right? But that's not always the case, especially not as we get older. When lung capacity starts to shrink, circulation slows down, and the spine becomes less forgiving. That's why today's episode matters. Because the truth is, sleeping isn't always healing. And the way you position your body can make the difference between feeling sluggish in the morning or waking up feeling clear, strong, and truly restored. Instead of chasing the perfect mattress or spending money on gadgets, what if the simplest change, how you lie in bed, could support your brain, your heart, and your posture all at once? Stick with us, because we're going to walk through 3 common positions that may be silently draining your energy, plus one powerful shift that could transform how you sleep and how you age. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the first position, let me ask you something. When was the last time you thought about how you sleep? Not how long, not what time, but the actual way your body is positioned through the night. Because what if the posture that feels the most familiar is actually the one quietly putting strain on your heart and blocking oxygen to your brain? It's easy to assume that comfort means safety, that if we're not tossing and turning, we must be doing something right. But after 60, the body doesn't always send loud signals. Sometimes it whispers through stiffness, through brain fog, through morning fatigue that no amount of coffee seems to fix. So the real question is this: what if the way you've always slept is the very thing keeping you from waking up clear, strong, and truly rested? Let's take a closer look. Let's begin with one of the most common sleeping positions: lying flat on your back with your legs extended and your arms resting at your sides. Now, at first glance, it might sound ideal. It looks peaceful. It's symmetrical. And for years, it's been praised as a neutral position. But here's the truth. After 60, what feels neutral can quietly become stressful. Think about it. As we age, the muscles around our spine weaken. The natural curve in our lower back flattens, and when we lie flat, completely flat, gravity pulls down on our abdomen, on our lungs, on our blood vessels. The result? More pressure on the lower back, more restriction on the diaphragm, and less oxygen reaching the brain while we sleep. Not enough to wake us up gasping, but enough to leave us feeling groggy, forgetful, and heavy-headed the next morning. It's subtle, and that's what makes it so easy to miss. Instead of helping the body relax and restore, this position can cause shallow chest breathing and compress blood vessels, particularly the ones that serve the brain. In fact, a 2018 study from Japan found that older adults who primarily slept flat on their backs showed higher levels of oxidative stress and inflammation, two major contributors to cognitive decline. So, what's the fix? Do you have to stop sleeping on your back entirely? Not necessarily. But if this is your go-to position, you need to make it smarter. Try elevating your upper body just slightly, about 30 to 45 degrees, using a wedge pillow or adjustable bed. This small incline can relieve pressure on the spine, open up the lungs, and improve circulation to the brain. And if your legs are fully straight, consider placing a small pillow under your knees. That simple change helps preserve the natural curve of your lower back and take stress off your joints. So instead of letting gravity pull against you all night, you let it work with you. Because after 60, it's not just about comfort anymore. It's about alignment. It's about oxygen. It's about protecting the very systems that keep you thinking clearly and moving freely. And the way you lie tonight might be what determines how you feel tomorrow. Now, let's talk about a position that many folks consider the picture of peace. Flat on the back, arms neatly resting at the sides. It looks dignified, balanced, still. But for older adults, this posture might be causing more trouble than you think. Why? Because when we lie completely flat, something subtle happens inside the body. Gravity pulls fluids that have been pooling in the lower limbs all day back up toward the center of the body. And what does that do? It signals the kidneys to go to work. That's why so many people over 60 find themselves waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night just to use the bathroom. It's not always about what you drank before bed. Sometimes it's about how your body shifts its fluids during the night. And every one of those nighttime trips breaks your sleep cycle, robs your body of deep recovery, and increases your risk of grogginess, imbalance, and even falls the next morning. But that's just one part of the story. This position also places gentle pressure on the chest cavity, especially for those with reduced lung elasticity. That pressure makes deep breathing harder. And when you're breathing shallowly through the chest instead of expanding the diaphragm, less oxygen reaches your brain. Over time, this pattern can lead to the kind of morning confusion, stiffness, and fatigue that so many people chalk up to just getting older. But what if it's not age? It's alignment. Instead of lying flat, try slightly elevating your upper body, even just a few inches. It reduces fluid shift, eases pressure on the lungs, and keeps your breathing more efficient all night long. Remember, your sleep is not just a pause. It's a repair shop for your brain and body. And if you're waking up more tired than when you went to bed, your position might be stealing more from you than you know. Now let's talk about a position that many find oddly comforting, even cozy, lying face down or sleeping on your stomach. It might feel secure. It might help you drift off faster. But for the aging body, it's one of the most mechanically stressful ways to sleep. Let's start with the neck. When you sleep on your stomach, your head has to twist sharply to one side for hours at a time. That's not a gentle turn. It's a deep, locked rotation that puts pressure on the cervical spine, tightens the neck muscles, and can restrict blood flow to the brain. Over time, this can lead to tension headaches, neck stiffness, and even dizziness upon waking. You might think, well, I've slept like this my whole life. And that may be true. But the body at 30 is not the same as the body at 60. Younger joints have cushion. Older ones don't. As cartilage wears down and discs become thinner, the neck becomes far less forgiving. A twist that once felt harmless now compresses nerves and starves muscles of oxygen. And it doesn't stop at the neck. Sleeping on your stomach flattens the natural curve of the spine, forcing the lower back into unnatural extension. It strains the muscles around the lumbar area and, depending on your mattress, can even compress your internal organs. That means more inflammation, poorer digestion, and less spinal recovery overnight. Plus, the chest, pressed directly against the mattress, can't expand fully. That limits deep breathing, reduces oxygen flow, and deprives your brain and heart of the full refresh they need while you sleep. Instead of allowing the body to reset, this position forces it into a low-grade fight with gravity all night long. Now, for some people, sleeping this way feels emotionally safe. It can bring comfort, a sense of grounding. But physical safety and emotional comfort aren't always aligned. If you must sleep on your stomach, try a thin pillow, or none at all, and place one leg slightly bent to reduce pressure on the spine. But ideally, over time, you want to transition away from this posture. Because instead of compressing the body night after night, you want to support it. And the way you lie matters more than you think, especially when your body's natural recovery depends on how much oxygen, circulation, and spinal alignment it gets while you rest. So now that we've covered the positions that may be quietly working against your body, what's the alternative? What's the position that doesn't just avoid harm, but actively supports healing? Here's where things get exciting, because science, traditional wisdom, and real-life experience are all pointing in the same direction. A posture that aligns your spine, opens your lungs, supports your heart, and helps your brain do its nightly cleanup work. And the best part? It's not complicated. You don't need a new bed. You don't need fancy gear. You just need to turn slightly and let your body rest the way it was designed to heal. So, what's the position that gives your body the best chance to rest, recover, and reset, especially after 60? Side sleeping. More specifically, side sleeping with your legs slightly bent, a small pillow between your knees, and your spine gently aligned from head to tailbone. At first glance, it may not look impressive, but it's the position that checks every box for the aging body. Let's walk through why. First, breathing. When you sleep on your side, unlike on your back or stomach, your lungs have room to expand fully. There's no pressure from your chest pressing into the mattress. No compression from abdominal weight pulling down on your diaphragm. Instead of shallow, chest-level breathing, your body can draw deep, even breaths all night long. That means better oxygen flow to your brain, your heart, and your muscles. And the brain? It needs oxygen more than anything else. In fact, studies from the University of Rochester found that side sleeping actually helps activate the brain's built-in waste removal system, what scientists call the glymphatic system. This system flushes out toxins including amyloid beta, the same substance linked to Alzheimer's disease. So, by simply turning to your side, you're helping your brain clean itself more effectively while you sleep. Now let's talk about the spine. Side sleeping with a pillow between the knees helps align your hips, keeps your lower back in a neutral curve, and takes pressure off the sacrum and tailbone. Instead of waking up stiff and sore, you wake up feeling supported and balanced. Circulation improves too. With your body slightly curled, blood flows more easily back to the heart, a process known as venous return. That helps reduce swelling in the legs, lowers the strain on your heart, and promotes more stable blood pressure overnight. And here's the best part. This isn't just a theory. It's how people have slept for centuries. In traditional Japanese culture, elders often used firm futons and side-sleeping positions to promote spinal health and lung expansion. Not just for comfort, but because it worked. Now, what about side choice? Left or right? Well, it depends on your body. Sleeping on the left side can aid digestion and reduce acid reflux. It's often recommended for those with digestive concerns. Sleeping on the right side may reduce the load on the heart, especially helpful for those with certain cardiac conditions. The takeaway? Start with the side that feels more natural. Then listen to your body. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to stay frozen in place all night. Just starting in a side-supported position, pillow between your knees, neck in line with the spine, mattress firm enough to hold your form, that's already a win. Because instead of fighting your anatomy, you're flowing with it. Instead of waking up groggy, tense, or sore, you give your body the best shot at healing. And at this stage in life, that's not just sleep. That's your foundation for clear thinking, balanced movement, and real vitality. Now, while side sleeping is generally the safest and most supportive posture, it's important to remember, no two bodies are exactly alike. So, let's talk about how to personalize this position, especially if you're dealing with specific conditions or limitations. First, shoulder or hip pain. Many seniors have told us, "I try to sleep on my side, but my shoulder starts aching," or "my hip flares up halfway through the night." Sound familiar? This happens because the weight of the body presses directly onto those joints. But instead of giving up on side sleeping entirely, consider small adjustments. Try using a firmer mattress or add a soft topper for pressure relief. Place a folded towel or thin pillow under your waist for better spinal alignment. And if your shoulder aches, don't tuck your arm underneath your head. Instead, extend it forward or rest it on a body pillow for support. These little tweaks can make a big difference. Next, what if you can't sleep on your side at all? Due to surgery, joint replacements, or chronic conditions? Then, don't force it. Instead, elevate your upper body slightly, around 30 to 45 degrees. This can help reduce nighttime reflux, improve lung function, and lessen pressure on the lower back. Combine that with a small pillow under your knees, and you're creating a much healthier version of back sleeping. What if you're someone who tosses and turns throughout the night? That's completely normal. Most of us change positions while we sleep. The goal isn't to stay frozen. It's to start in a supportive position and set up your bed so your body naturally stays aligned when you shift. You can even use a pillow behind your back or along your front to help nudge your body into staying on its side. And for those with spiritual or cultural preferences, like sleeping on the right side due to tradition or prayer, know that science is finally catching up. Whether it's from ancient Ayurvedic beliefs or Islamic teachings, side sleeping has long been trusted by generations who observed its benefits firsthand. So instead of worrying about doing it exactly right, focus on making your sleep work for you. Because at this stage, it's not about chasing perfection. It's about making small changes that let your body do what it was made to do. Breathe deeply, rest fully, and repair naturally. So here's the heart of it. Sleep is not just rest, it's repair. And after 60, your body isn't just asking for more sleep, it's asking for better sleep. Not longer hours, smarter hours. Because the way you position yourself each night sends a message to your body. Either I'm helping you heal, or I'm making things harder. And most of us, without knowing it, have been sending the wrong message. But now you know. Instead of fighting gravity, you can work with it. Instead of waking up stiff, foggy, or sore, you can rise clearer, stronger, more energized, just by adjusting how you lie down. So ask yourself, what if the best change for your heart, your brain, and your spine isn't found in a bottle, or a supplement, or a routine, but in the quiet hours, when you're asleep and your body finally gets to do what it was built for? That change starts tonight. If something in this video made you rethink the way you sleep, tell us. Have you tried side sleeping before? Do you already use a pillow between your knees? Let us know in the comments. Your story might help someone else finally get the rest they've been missing. And if you care about someone over 60, a parent, a friend, a neighbor, share this video with them tonight. Because instead of struggling through another restless morning, they could be waking up clearer, stronger, and more alive. Subscribe for more quiet, powerful shifts that help you age with clarity and strength. We're here for you, every step, every breath, every night.